Okay. Let's take a swig of the seltzer water. Seltzer water ASMR right now. Here we go. Oh, you like that? Probably didn't hear all that, but you know, it is what it is. It be what it be. It do what it do, and it are what it are. Okay, stop. With that, James. Excuse me, Oscar guy here. How's it going? It's time for another podcast, man. Welcome to episode 5 of the Oscar guy here podcast. Hope everything is good with y'all. And of course, there is a plane outside flying over me. Y'all can probably hear it, and that is incredible. We're moving on. We're doing it live. We're doing it raw. Who cares? Sup? You know, lots happened this week. We got some new developments here. Gonna be talking about some things. I saw Megalopolis. Yeah. So I got thoughts for y'all. And what I did is I actually recorded my first impressions of the film. I was driving back from the theater. I was driving back home from the theater, and I was just kind of like, I was talking to myself, just like kind of like, and I was like, you know, I gotta record myself. So I actually recorded myself talking about my first impressions of Megalopolis in the car. And I think at the end of this episode, I think I'm going to play that recording for y'all. So I won't have to reiterate myself. Plus, it's entertaining, to be honest. Hearing myself back. So I think at the end of this episode, I'm just going to play that. I did do a quickie review of Megalopolis, and I gave it a shrug out of shrug. No bullshit. Yeah, it wasn't even an actual review because this is literally an unreviewable film. It was bad, but it was utterly fascinating in how it was executed and what the vision was and how it all came together. Spoiler alert, it doesn't really come together at all, but that's what makes it so intriguing and fascinating. But it's a bad movie. But I will get to those. I will get to that at the end of this episode, where I will play my recording of my first impressions of the film. But in any case, other than that, I actually uploaded my first predictions video of the season. For my predictions for October of 2024. It is live. Actually, part 1 is live. I still need to do part 2. Part 1, I basically cover all of the above-the-line categories, meaning Best Picture, Director, all of the acting categories, and both screenplay categories. And then part 2 is going to cover everything else, aka the technical categories or the below-the-line categories. And that is coming probably next week, so stay tuned for that. But part 1 of my October predictions is live on my YouTube channel, so go ahead, check it out. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's the channel update for y'all. But other than that, I would like to say that as I mentioned in the last podcast episode, at the end of the last episode, we took a look at the schedule for the Philadelphia Film Festival, and kind of talked about some films that I would like to see. But ticket sales happened this past Monday, and I woke up at 8 a.m. to buy them because, I mean, who knows? I don't know how quickly those tickets sell out or what, but I bought some tickets to some screenings. So, of course, I didn't get a press pass. Maybe next year, maybe the year after, maybe the year after that. No rush, but hey, man, come on now. I need a bigger footprint to do something like that. But for now, I'm paying the price for public admission. So be it. So be it. I'm very excited to go though. So what I will be seeing. So on the 19th, Saturday the 19th, I am going to be going to see Anora in the afternoon, and then that evening I will be seeing The Brutalist. Holy shit. Anora and The Brutalist in one day, the two Best Picture frontrunners. Unbelievable. That's going to be amazing. So, and by the way, they're showing The Brutalist in 70mm. So stoked. Absolutely stoked. And then the next day, that Sunday, the 20th, I am going to be seeing A Real Pain and Nickel Boys. And then I might be going to see the new Leos Carax short, It's Not Me. That's going to be like at night. It depends on how tired I am. I might want to go back home and just like rest up for the work week, but that's gonna be a maybe for me. And then I'm going to be seeing Blitz. Blitz is the closing night film at the festival. That's going to be the next Friday, 25th. And there's also going to be a little after party after that I will be attending as well. So if any of you are going to be seeing those films or going to be at the after party or just going to be around the Philly Film Festival, I'll be around, give or take. So just letting y'all know. So Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, Nickel Boys, and Blitz are the films I'm going to be seeing. They're also showing Conclave on Monday, which I was thinking about also seeing, but I might hold off on that. I think I might just stick, because Conclave is coming out November 1st anyway, so I'm just going to have to wait another week and a half to see that. I think that's fine. It's fine. But in any case, I am really looking forward to seeing those films at the festival. It's not going to be this weekend, but it's going to be next weekend. So I'm stoked, man. I'm stoked. It's going to be fun. And the theaters in Philly are great too. There's the Film Society, which is like the main theater, and then there's the Boers. And then there's the PFS East, which I've actually never been to. But the Film Society and Boers are great theaters. And there's also the Ritz 5 in Philly, where I used to go all the time. That isn't owned by the Film Society, but shout out to Philadelphia and their theaters. So that's it, man. Philly Film Festival. It's coming up. It's crazy. Like a year ago, I went to the film festival for the first time, and I only saw Jacques Tati's Playtime there on print for the first time, and that was life-changing. Amazing movie. And then I saw The Holdovers and then Maestro directly after that, all in one day. And then I went to see Saltburn. That was the closing night film last year, and then I went to the after party after that. And then, Saltburn, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but there were aspects of it that I liked. The performances were great, the cinematography was great, it's pretty well directed, but the film itself was a little... If the grimace emoji was a film, it would be Saltburn. So yeah. I can't believe it's been a whole year, but I'll be back there next weekend and the weekend after. So yeah, I'll see y'all there. So yeah, other than that, Joker Folie Deux sucks apparently. Wow, Todd Phillips, man. So I've heard that this new Joker is kind of the antithesis of the original Joker. It's kind of people are almost saying it's like an apology for the first Joker. Like, people who love or are all about the first Joker, like, who is this film for? It's definitely not for the original fans of Joker, because it kind of undoes all of the all of the themes and all of the messaging surrounding that film. In this one, it alienates also comic book fans because it's not even really adhering to the Joker's mythos really at all, canonically. So it's not really for them. And then people are still being like, oh, it's a musical, even though they've said it's been a musical for years. I don't know. And like the musical numbers are just like the way it's executed just doesn't really work. And there's a big like courtroom scene sequence that goes on way too long, and it's just kind of a mess. And it's a little bit dull. Despite Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga giving incredible performances, from what I hear, Lady Gaga isn't utilized nearly as much as she should be. She feels trapped in the shortcomings of this film and the screenwriting and the direction. I don't know. It really is unfortunate. And it is bombing hard. Let's see how it's doing. What are the numbers, man? I mean, it made $120 million, which that's kind of surprising. But the budget was $200 million. So, how much money do they need for it to break even? Probably double that, like $400 million, $300 million, somewhere around there. I don't know if it's gonna get there, but it's it is just not. I don't know, man. So what does that mean for its Oscar chances? Are they dead? They might be. If I'm being honest, I think they might be. There's some technical aspects of the film, like I hear the cinematography is very great still. And like maybe costume design or makeup and hair. I don't even know. Was Joker 1 nominated for makeup and hair even? It was nominated for a lot of things. Dude, the original Joker got, 11 nominations? Something like that? Let me see. Yeah, it was nominated for makeup and hair, editing, costume design, sound editing and mixing. I mean, it won score. And adapted screenplay as well. I mean, it killed it. But this one was a misfire, man. It really was a misfire. Maybe I'll see it. I'd like to maybe get my own thoughts on it because, I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. But I was interested in Folie Deux, but now that all the bad word has come about it, I don't know, man. I would like to see it just because, like, I need to kind of formulate my own opinion on it and everything. But I don't know. But cinematography might still have a shot. I think Gaga's chances might be dead. I think Phoenix's chances might be dead too. I just don't think it's going to connect. I think it's just going to be an absolute dud. So yeah, maybe outside shots in some tech categories, but I think its chances are mostly dead. And another thing, the people are like trying to like play the blame game and try to blame somebody on like why this film has just been a massive failure. Some people are pointing to, I think most people are pointing to Todd Phillips, or maybe even Joaquin Phoenix, because apparently I read an article that the idea for Joker Folie Deux was actually Joaquin Phoenix. It came to him in a dream, or so maybe people were blaming him. Maybe people were blaming Warner Brothers, but I mean, I mean, it could be down to Todd Phillips and how he wanted to, I guess, undermine or overwrite what he wanted to say with the first film, and how people, I guess, misinterpreted it or what. Whether people actually did or not, I don't really even know. But it's been a mess. The film is a mess. The release has been a mess. It's just a mess. So we'll see what happens with the Oscars. I just don't think it's going to happen for it. But another film that might have the tides turn in their favor, not... What am I even saying? Another film, I guess it's just on my list. I was trying to make a segue between Joker Folie Deux and Nosferatu. So Nosferatu, the trailer came out, and it looks great. It looks wonderful. Of course, Robert Eggers is an amazing filmmaker. He did The Witch, he did The Lighthouse, and he did The Northman. And this film looks like not only a really original adaptation of the original story, but it looks like a technical marvel, really. And it looks very fascinating. Lily Rose Depp looks like she's doing a great job. We got a one shot of Bill Skarsgård's eyes as the titular vampire. Willem Dafoe, of course, our boy, is in it. It looks really great. And some people are even saying, this has Oscars potential after all. And I'm not convinced, guys. I'm not convinced. It looks great, but Robert Eggers just hasn't had luck with the Academy. Number one, I mean, his only nomination was for Best Cinematography for The Lighthouse, and that was a black and white film, and it was shot on 4:3, and, that cinematography branch at the, Academy voters in the cinematography branch love black and white for whatever reason. We saw that this past year with El Conde. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really believe it because, I mean, number two, it's a horror movie. It might be like elevated horror or like a different spin on the story or a different spin on horror itself or whatever. Like, people are trying to kind of be like, oh, this has potential, but I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. I'll believe it when it comes out and when I see it and what people actually say about it when it does come out. But I don't know, man. I still think the Academy is going to not touch this. But I could be wrong. And you know what? If I'm wrong, I will eat my words. But based on Robert Eggers' track record with the Academy and the Academy's bias towards horror, I just don't see it happening. I mean, people are just kind of putting Nosferatu in their predictions because it's a huge tech player. But you know what was also a great tech player? The Northman. And that was nominated for nothing. So, I don't know. I've yet to be convinced. But the trailer looks fantastic, albeit. So, I will definitely be seeing it. It's going to be a great Christmas film. Between this and Baby Girl, two wild, Christmas releases. Can you imagine a Nosferatu and Baby Girl double feature? Will I be doing that? Or like a Complete Unknown is also coming out on Christmas as well. And by the way, a new trailer dropped for that too. And it looks pretty good. I have a feeling that it might be average or it could be above average. But from what I saw in the trailer, it looked a bit formulaic. And, Timothée Chalamet, his singing voice is very on point, but like his talking and his mannerisms are Bob Dylan-esque, but it's not like an embodiment of the man himself, if that makes any sense. Plus, Edward Norton wasn't even in the trailer. Like, there was one shot of him, and then, you heard him a little bit in the beginning of the trailer, and that was it. And people who have seen the movie say that he's a standout. So, I mean, give me evidence, man. I want my best supporting actor predictions to be at least a little bit accurate. Because, man, this is what we do, man. This is what we do. We watch trailers and we speculate, and then we predict after we speculate, and then we speculate after we predict. And that is the loop that we are trapped in until we see the films. And then we speculate and predict even further. But yeah, the trailer looks pretty good. You know, I'm not like as sold on Timothée Chalamet as a nomination, but I mean, the Oscars, they do love their musical biopic performers and performances. So that's that. So Nosferatu, Complete Unknown. I think I may have talked about the Baby Girl trailer last episode, but just in case I didn't, I don't remember. That trailer looks really great. Nicole Kidman gives an amazing performance, from what I hear, and the Oscars, they might not touch an erotic thriller film, but this could be like a different kind of erotic thriller film. I've heard the subject matter is a little bold and goes to places that aren't really, treaded upon, I guess, a lot. And maybe the Academy might not see eye to eye with some of it. I don't know. Or they could be cool and give it a chance. But despite how great Nicole Kidman is, I mean, I have her in my top 5 right now. I think I have her predicted to be nominated, but not everybody has her in their 5 for whatever reason. Just maybe because of that, the film is just a little steamy, a little too risque for Academy voters. So, I don't know. But that trailer looked good. I think that's it for trailers. Maybe another one came out that I don't know about, but I think, did Blitz have a new trailer? I think maybe Blitz had a new trailer. I don't even know if I've watched it yet. I did watch the original one that came out maybe a month or so ago, but Blitz just premiered at the London Film Festival. I think either yesterday or the day before. And at first reactions seemed a bit mixed, positive to mixed, but they seem mostly positive now. People were saying that it's a little formulaic, it's a little cliched, especially from, coming from Steve McQueen, who is more of a vivacious, kind of goes outside of the box a little bit filmmaker. He kind of plays it safe with this one. A little more audience friendly, a little more awards season friendly. It could be this year's like Belfast, like Oscar bait film. I'm drawing kind of comparisons to Belfast a little bit. Maybe a little bit more critically acclaimed than Belfast. But it's skewing like mixed positive to positive. So it could probably still be in the Best Picture conversation, albeit probably in the top or in the bottom 5, if not the bottom 3. So, but in any case, I hear technically it's very impressive. Production-wise, it's very impressive. Some of the action set pieces are really impressive, and they stand out. It's heartfelt. A great child performance from the child actor. His name is slipping my mind right now. Let's look it up. We're doing it live. Blitz 2024, man. Elliot Heffernan as George. I hear he gives a great performance. Oh, I forgot Stephen Graham is in this movie. Hell yeah, Stephen Graham. So I hear the music is good by one Hans Zimmer, and a young up and comer. No. So, yeah, it comes out November 1st, and it's going to be streaming on Apple TV Plus on November 22nd. But again, I'll be seeing it at the Philly Film Festival in a couple weekends. But yeah, Saoirse Ronan, I hear, is fantastic. There's not really a clear Best Supporting Actress frontrunner. It's really between her and Zoe Saldana and Danielle Deadwyler. But none of them really... And also Felicity Jones from The Brutalist. But none of them really, like, steal the show, per se, in their own respective films. But perhaps Ronan is the one who steals the show the most, I guess. Plus, she might be double nominated, next year for The Outrun and Blitzed. I do have her predicted to be double nominated. Whether that's going to happen or not, I'm not sure, but most likely I think it will happen. So yeah, that's Blitz. I'll be seeing it, and those are the reactions from it. What else? What else has been going on? I saw a tweet the other day. So you guys may have seen, if you watched my predictions video for this month, part 1, I talked about the screenplay categories, and I have an original screenplay. I have I kind of have a wild, it's not in my top 5 right now, but I kind of have I have a gut feeling about I Saw the TV Glow. Jane Shunbrun's critically lauded and acclaimed film from earlier this year. I have it at number 13 in Best Original Screenplay right now. It's kind of down there, it's down there near The Substance and A Different Man and Challengers and some of these outside shots in original screenplay that kind of are in the back of my head as possibilities. I don't know. I have a feeling about I Saw the TV Glow because I saw that Jane Shunbrun actually tweeted, and she said, let's try to get an Oscars campaign going for this. And there's a lot of people kind of coming out of the woodworks and trying to maybe get it to happen via like a word of mouth campaign or something. And I don't know. I just have a feeling that something like that could take off. Maybe not even in the precursor era of the season, but maybe even later on. Maybe it could just have like a last minute surge. A surprise for I Saw the TV Glow, an original screenplay on Oscar nominations morning, would be gargantuan, and I would really love to see it happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm not saying I'm predicting it right now. Far from it, but I don't know. I kind of want to like quasi call it and be like, watch out. But again, Academy voters might not be quite there yet. They have been kind of behind the times when it comes to, queer cinema, with Brokeback Mountain and with Carol and they did a good job with Moonlight. That was a kind of a strange year though. So I don't know. I have a little bit of hope about it, but I'm not like completely sold on it. But I just want to mention that. I saw that tweet and I saw all the responses and the buzz it was getting, and I was like, that could be something. I haven't even seen it yet. I really need to see I Saw the TV Glow. I haven't even seen her debut feature. We're All Going to the World's Fair, but I Saw the TV Glow. It's very Lynchian from what I hear. I hear it's a little out there. Maybe, especially for Oscar voters. So, I don't know. I just think that would be really cool. So that's that. And, Yeah, these so my Twitter feed right now is pretty much mostly just Blitz reactions. Amelia Perez is going adapted. No surprise there. It's technically based on an operetta, but it's of the same material. But the Academy branch is the I guess screenplay branch at the Academy is very strict about that. If it's adapted from anything at all, I mean, you saw it last year with Barbie, you saw it with Whiplash. If it's adapted from anything at all, they will be like, oh, it's adapted. Like, it's got to be original. Like, it's written for the film. If it's written before the film in any other medium, even if it's another short film or another form of media, it's adapted. So they are going to be campaigning it in adapted, which gives it the edge, because adapted screenplay is a little slim pickings right now from what I remember. Yeah, we got Conclave, we got Sing Sing, Emilia Perez, Dune Part 2 is probably going to be in there, and then we got like a shaky fifth spot, which could be Nickel Boys. That's what I'm predicting right now. Nickel Boys, Piano Lesson, Queer, Room Next Door, Night Bitch, Wild Robot, I hear. It has a good enough screenplay to be nominated, which will be amazing. But yeah, Amelia Perez is going to be adapted. Anything else as far as news? Challengers is going to be campaigned as musical or comedy at the Golden Globes. I have mixed feelings about this, because to me, Challengers is a drama, but it is pretty damn funny. There are some parts of that film that are hilarious, but hilarious in a sense, you know, I don't know, man. They're weird about this, because you saw it last year also with May December. There are very deeply funny aspects of May December, and that was in part to its kind of like melodramatic nature. Challengers is kind of the same way, kind of a melodramatic film, and yet it doesn't really take itself too seriously, and there's some very quippy dialogue and very humor sequences in the film, but for my money, I think it's still a drama. Yeah, it's a weird argument, because like, what do they constitute a comedy as opposed to a drama? I don't know, but I don't know where I stand on that. It's a funny movie, but I still consider it a drama. But in any case, you know, it's going to help. It's good for Challengers, because it's going to help it get nominations. It'll definitely get nominated. I mean, Zendaya is in for a nomination. She is locked for actress, musical, or comedy. Absolutely. And maybe even Josh O'Connor and Mike Feist could get into either of their respective lead categories, because they're kind of leads too in the film. I know they're being campaigned in supporting categories for the Oscars, but for the Golden Globes, I can see them getting into lead categories. If not, I'll be kind of surprised. So, yeah. Challengers does have a shot at the Globes, and maybe that will it will receive momentum in later precursors, and perhaps even the Oscars. But it could die out before the Oscars happen. I do have. Am I predicting challenges for anything right now? I think I'm predicting it for score, or maybe it's number 6 in score for me. I have to see real quick. If you go to OscarGuyHere.com/predictions, you can actually see my predictions, and you can see them for yourself. Let's see, score. I haven't talked about score yet. I will be talking about score in my Part 2 video, though. I have it at number 6 right now. It's right on the cusp, and that could be bold because I don't think a whole lot of people have it in their top 10 even. So maybe screenplay, outside shot, way outside shot in screenplay actually. Or maybe no, I wouldn't say direct. No. But yeah, Challengers. Shout out to Challengers. I actually did rewatch Challengers the other night, and it's great, man. Yeah, it didn't hit me the same way as it did the first film, so I notched it down 1/10 of a point. But it's still great. It's still one of my favorite films of the year. It's wonderful. I think it is on Max, so if you haven't seen it, go check it out. So yeah, Challengers is a musical comedy. That's pretty much it as far as news and latest developments. Oh yeah, the Wicked teaser. Well, there's a new trailer out. I haven't actually seen it yet, but they released it. They released it. What are we doing here, James? They released it. There's a poster for it. Then they tried to replicate like the Broadway poster, and it's kind of a train wreck because in the original poster, the what's her name? Elphaba, the witch. Her hat is like covering her eyes, and she's kind of doing this smirk. And the other character, I don't even know her name. The Witch of the East or something. Ariana Grande's character. In the original poster, like her hand is like whispering to her, and her hand is kind of covering her whole mouth. But in like the film one, her hand is like lowered, so you can like kind of see parts of her mouth. And then in the film one, Cynthia Erivo is just staring into our soul with like this blank expression, and is like frowning, like it's off. It's really off, and it's been getting a lot of flack on Twitter, and it's kind of hilarious to see. And there's even people that are like, "Oh, I fixed it," and people are like fixing it. It's like the ugly Sonic all over again. Only this time they're not going to roll back and be like, "Oh, here's the updated poster." I don't think they're going to do that. But in any case, I hear Wicked Part 1 is actually pretty good based on test screening reactions. So I'm eager to see what happens with that. I mean, I think production design is a possibility. I think visual effects might be a possibility. Costume design is in, if not, well, it probably is threatening to win in that category. It does have to go up against Dune and Gladiator 2, so that's an uphill battle. But I don't know. It could surprise. It could surprise when it comes out, and that does come out. I want to say around Thanksgiving or Christmas. Yeah, Thanksgiving comes out in Thanksgiving. Around Thanksgiving. So yeah. Well, it releases November 9th in Los Angeles, and then wide on November 22nd. So. Oh, Jeff Goldblum is playing the Wizard of Oz. Oh my goodness. I forgot Michelle Yeoh is in it also. Ethan Slater, Peter Dinklage. Yeah, man. That's okay. So John M. Chu is directing it, and he did Crazy Rich Asians and In the Heights. And In the Heights was a pretty well-directed musical as well. He also directed Step Up 3D and Now You See Me 2. So, just so y'all know. But yeah, it looks good. It looks pretty good. It's probably going to make a lot of money. So yeah. Yeah, man. What else we got going on here? I'm just kind of scrolling Twitter at this point. I think that's all we got for news. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the Wicked poster right now. Oh my god. It's just so off, bro. Something's off. Something's off. So that's it, man. That's it. Okay, so I think it's now time for the main event. My Megalopolis first impressions. Now, before I watched Megalopolis, I watched another film that I anticipated would be a good warm-up to Megalopolis. This also stars Adam Driver playing a kind of silly and unhinged character. And it's a film from a filmmaker that I love that I had never seen before and had been on my watch list for quite some time. And that film is Annette by one Léos Carax, starring Adam Driver and Marion Cotillard. So I put that on. I'm a huge fan of Léos Carax's film Holy Motors and his short Merde, which is in the anthology film called Tokyo. Very underrated. So I'm a big fan of Carax. So the fact that I had not seen Annette is pretty wild. And man, I put it on and I had the time of my life, bro. Bro, that movie's wild, man. Wild. It worked for me. It really worked for me. And some people really don't like Annette, but man, it was so silly and wacky and French. Like from jump, from the beginning credits and the opening scene, I was in. I was locked in, and it just worked for me on almost every level. It was so weird and wacky and so silly. I mean, I was cackling up a storm at some parts of that film. And as a lot of the musical numbers, lyrically, like all of the lyrics and all the songs are like so comically on the nose. And maybe that's why some people just don't vibe with it, just because like the music, like the lyrics of the music are like so basic, but it's self-aware in that sense. It knows that it's stupid, and it knows that it's extremely literal, but also very surreal in its presentation. I loved it. I loved Annette. I thought it was great. The ending is a bit of a downer, but it was a romp. I will say it was a very interesting romp. And Adam Driver, man, he commits, dude. I talk about it a little bit in my first impressions of Megalopolis, which we'll get to here in a second, folks. But Adam Driver, man, he's the man. He just commits so hard. He gives 110% in whatever film he's in, whatever performance he's giving. He is on another level. And he's just so unhinged and wacky and silly in Annette that it was kind of the perfect primer for me to go into Megalopolis. Because I definitely saw some similarities between not only the two films, but between the two Adam Driver performances. So, it was great. It was fantastic. I almost want to watch it again. It's so good. If you haven't seen Annette, please check it out. But I saw that the night before Megalopolis. And then I went to go see Megalopolis. And you know, we all know what Megalopolis is at this point, and what its legacy is starting what legacy it is. Not really a legacy right now, but like its reputation, if you will. It's Francis Ford Coppola's dream project that he's been working on for decades. It's his passion project. He self-funded it, and he said, I don't care. This is the movie I want to make. If there's any movie I'm going to make this one just to say I did it, and that's that, and this is my statement. And what a statement it is. What a statement it is. Insane, bro. Okay, so I went and saw it. And I did see it with a crowd that was very on the same wavelength as me, kind of. Well, and there were actually no walkouts. There was not a single walkout. Now, there was an older, like middle-aged couple that was sitting kind of near the front that they got up to leave before the credits even started to roll. Like, just maybe, like, it was clear that the movie was ending and they were just like, let's get out of here. So that was like the closest thing to a walkout that we had. So I was surprised. I was like, I was expecting half the theater to walk out, but everybody who was in there was kind of like, I don't want to say into it. I guess they were into it. Yeah, they weren't so much appreciating it or loving it. They were just like utterly fascinated that I was. I mean, there were a group of dudes in the row in front of me that were just cackling up a storm the entire time. So it was an interesting experience. So I left and I went in my car and I was just bewildered and gobsmacked, and I was like, I'm going to record myself talking about this movie. And here it is. Okay. So, this is what I said. This is my first impressions of Megalopolis. Roll the videotape, James, in 3, 2, 1.
I might as well just record my first impressions of Megalopolis. I got out of it maybe about 5 minutes ago. And that's my review of Megalopolis right now. It's out of
Shrug out of shrug.
What a specimen of a film that was. What? What was it about? What was that film about?
Still don't really know.
What? There were plot lines that were abandoned. There were character action contradictions left and right. Botched line deliveries. Laughable dialogue. Questionable order of said dialogue.
Yeah.
John Voight, what were you doing, buddy?
Bad.
Aubrey Plaza. Great.
Great.
The go back to the club part is the most muted part of the entire film. I gotta say.
So go back to the club.
And how am I going to review this film? So, I came out of it. Look, man. Some of the editing choices and some of the shots, very creative. Really kind of cool, honestly, if I'm being completely honest. Kind of cool experiment. Like, it was a great experiment. In filmmaking, it was a great experiment. The script was just all over the motherfuck place, and that's understandable because it was a script 30 years in the making, apparently. Over 30 years. And it shows. It definitely shows. Things were thrown at the wall. It's an old guy, I mean, kind of a misogynistic film, if I'm being honest. And, I see what he was going for. I really do see what he was going for. The passion is absolutely there. The passion is there. The passion is there. That is undeniable and unquestionable. The passion of his vision was there for sure, and I'm honestly glad that he made this movie for him, just for himself. Fuck off if we. I mean, in my opinion, he could give fuck all what people think of this film.
It's true.
I think he's having the time of his life.
Yep.
This movie's gonna bomb so fucking bad, and he's gonna be like done mad. I got to make it. I spent my own money on it, so I don't care. I don't care if I'm gonna get my money back. He's not. He's not gonna get no money back for this fucking movie. Not even close. So, fuck it. You know, that's the name of the movie. That should be the name of the movie. Fuck it. A Fable.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Or Megalopolis. Fuck it. And
Sorry,
then,
Mom and Dad.
And the placards and the fucking Lawrence Fishburne's narration, bro. Like,
I forgot all
bro,
about Lawrence Fishburne.
What was it? What was it?
What was it?
What was it?
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Driver, dude, he fucking commits, bro. Adam Driver fucking commits to anything that he does, and I absolutely love him for that. He fucking goes off in this film, dude. I'm like, Coppola, you found the guy to help bring your vision to life. I mean, because man, after seeing Annette last night, by the way, great movie, great warm-up for this film, with the help of Adam Driver. After seeing that and then this Adam Driver, bro, I give you flowers, my friend.
I do.
I give you flowers. Shia LaBeouf, I'm not sure what you were doing. He was giving Chris Chan. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. He gave Chris Chan.
Don't look up Chris Chan. Whatever you do.
You know, with the hair and his just demeanor, you know what I'm saying? Him and Chris Chan would have been friends. Would be friends. So, it's good that I'm talking. It's good that I'm processing this, because I just need to, let out my thoughts. Virtually unreviewable film, but if I had to give a star rating, I'm not even talking about like the 10th of a point system. But for a star rating, if I'm being generous, 3 out of 5. Taking everything into consideration,
I'm thinking
everything into account, what I just witnessed.
2.6.
3 out of 5.
2.6 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
2.6.
It was a very entertaining film. Yellow light. Thank you.
I was still driving.
It was very entertaining, and the crowd helped. There was definitely people in the crowd that were on the same wavelength as me, and were just having a hoot of a time watching this really kind of bad movie, and poorly executed movie. Beautifully poorly executed. So if I had seen it with like a dead crowd, or like a crowd with like some old folks, people who were, maybe who like kind of scoff at it and boo, or walk out from it, maybe I would rank the movie just a little bit lower.
True.
But I was having a good time. Near the end there, I was like, all right, this is cool, but let's
Yeah, it got a little cringe.
And the ending is very cringe.
Yeah.
It is an incredibly
bad ending.
Cringe ending. So cringe. But if you embrace the cringe, bro.
Oh, yeah. We all embrace cringe these days.
I get it. I don't, but I get it. I don't get the movie itself, but I get what the movie was going for.
That's my review.
that was fascinating. That was very fast. I'm glad I saw it. It ain't gonna do dick for as far as Oscars and awards consideration. That'll be the day. Oscar nomination morning, man. If they say the word Megalopolis, I'll walk out. I'll walk out of my apartment.
Yeah.
Even if it's 20 degrees outside, I will walk outside.
Yep. Take a stroll.
So that's what I gotta say, I think, for now.
Processing stroll.
About Megalopolis.
Good work.
Also, he made New York City New Rome. Time. That's it. All right. Have a good one. All right, let's pack it up. He made New York City New Rome.
Yeah, New York City. He took New York City and called it New Rome. Yeah, so there you go. That's Megalopolis, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Shrug out of shrug. I didn't get the movie, but I get what the movie was going for. That's it, man. So those are my Megalopolis first impressions. Sorry for all the swearing, Mom and Dad. It is what it is. Fascinating specimen of a film, as I said. Oscars aren't going to touch it. And it's going to go down in history as one of the biggest creative flops, aka I don't even know, man. I don't even know what to call it. I will say it's got cult film potential. So, yeah. So those are my first impressions. I should do first impressions more. But when I actually first started this channel, my main review platform before I started doing reviews and quickie reviews were first impressions videos, which were basically that, just like me talking to my camera, talking about the film that I had just watched. But they all got like 10 views, so I'm like, And then I made my first quickie review was for Bardo, and that performed really well, and my quickie reviews perform way better than first impressions. So maybe every now and again I'll do one, but that's it. So those are my thoughts on Megalopolis. Hope you all enjoyed that. Yeah, go see Megalopolis. I mean, honestly, go see it, or see it if you don't want to pay money to see it in the theater, because you might very well hate it. Don't waste your money if you're afraid that you're going to hate it. But give it a shot. If you feel like if it entices you, if it interests you, I would say give it a shot, because it really is an experience. So see it for yourself. It's fascinating. It really is. And with that, I think we're going to call it there, folks. That's it. I think that's going to be it for me. Stay tuned for part 2 of my October 2024 Oscar predictions, where I cover all the technical categories, all the below-the-line categories. Yeah, I'm also planning on seeing Saturday Night, perhaps tomorrow. I might be seeing it tomorrow, if not early next week. So stay tuned for a quickie review for that and my thoughts on that film. But other than that, just stick around, stay tuned for the next episode and some more content. Again, thanks for listening. And, be sure to follow me on Instagram, @OscarGuyHere. I'm on Twitter, even though I don't really use it, @OscarGuyHere. On Letterboxd, JazzMusic131. Check out my website, OscarGuyHere.com. And, of course, go to my YouTube channel, Oscar Guy Here. And embrace the content of this sacred award season. I don't even know what I'm saying. But thanks, guys, for watching, or listening, rather. And I will see you next time. I'll catch you on the flip, and Oscar Guy is out.